Hey, what's going on, Rockstars? It is Saturday again, April 5th, 2025, and we got a double dip. Two stories from the world of Amazon today. Story number one, about a couple of thugs that decided to impersonate Amazon drivers and knock on an old gentleman's door. Wait till you see this outrageous clip. And the second part is about an Amazon driver, an actual employee, not somebody impersonating them, in the second clip that does an absolutely horrible thing and is now going to pay the price. Let's jump into both of these videos. A double dip, number one and number two. Let's do it. Is out of Cincinnati, Ohio. These are two young thugs. That's what we're going to call them. I don't care how you look at it. If you do what they do, that's what you deserve to be called, regardless of who you are, age, sex, gender, race, or otherwise. They are impersonating Amazon delivery people with the entire uniform and all. And everybody, this is why a lot of platforms don't allow these uniforms to be sold on their platforms. It's because of things like this. You're gonna see what I'm talking about. Let's jump into the video and we'll go from there.
Disguised as Amazon workers walked straight to 526 Price Street, covering their faces, wearing signature blue and black jackets, carrying a package even. After knocking on the door, the homeowner, who friends have identified as George Dirk Hardison, he answers. The suspects then forced their way inside. A police report alleges that the two men demanded money before beating Hardison with some sort of sledgehammer. That attack lasts for nearly 8 minutes. The two young men made off with only $80. Footage also captured the two leaving with the same package they walked up with, and the homeowner screaming out for help. Hardison yelled out for neighbors who showed up soon after to find him covered in blood with multiple head injuries. Witnesses told officers they saw one of the suspects running towards East Broad Street. According to that report, Savannah police officers observed several lacerations to Mr. Hardison's head as he was sitting in his own blood from his injuries. Police are still searching for these suspects. They described the two men as younger black males with medium brown complexion and in their 20s. They're set to be charged with aggravated assault, aggravated battery, and home invasion at minimum. In the meantime, as Hardison recovers, the bar where he works, O'Connell's Pub, has started a GoFundMe to help with his recovery, saying, quote, "The police are investigating this heinous crime, but in the meantime, let's show Dirk the love and support he deserves."
Wow, all that over $80. A couple of young and what they describe as probably later teenager, early 20s in the story here, guys that assaulted this elderly man in his 60s, over $80, and they used Amazon outfits, Amazon uniforms that you can buy on eBay or Amazon themselves, which they get restricted a lot, and that's why they do it, so that people won't sell them. Some of them do slip by. Some people sell them. I've seen them on Etsy. I've seen them on Craigslist. I've seen them on Facebook Marketplace. I've seen them on every platform, and they're doing a job, you know, as good of a job as they can to restrict them. But at the same time, it can be sold person to person. Somebody could have been a former employee and held on to these and sold them to the streets. We don't know where they got them from. Absolutely heinous crime by two criminals and crooks, over $80 to assault an elderly gentleman with a sledgehammer that required 14 staples, busted him up, and stole $80 and left him in a pool of his own blood. Absolutely disgusting. And this is why, everybody, you have to be extra, extra careful. Even if somebody shows up with a delivery for you, if you didn't order something, then it's probably not good news. Stay away from it. Let's check out story number two. This one out of Baltimore, Maryland, where I come from a long, long time ago, guys, 20 years ago. But this story about an Amazon driver that actually runs over a young lady, and then what he does next is even more disgusting. Let's check it out.
This is the intersection of Pratt and South.
That's funny. South Pratt Street is actually where my mother grew up 50 years ago as a child, 55 years ago.
Chester Streets, and the 29-year-old woman who was hit was taken to the hospital. She has non-life-threatening injuries, according to the police. I'm just going to step over here for a second so you can see the intersection a little better. The video, again, is hard to watch. This is what it shows: an Amazon delivery truck stopping at the traffic light. The woman walked toward the intersection. When the traffic signal changed and the driver had a green light, he pulled forward. It appears the pedestrian was then struck. Police say it also appears the truck moved forward again and the woman was still
If you run somebody over and you hit them and he stops, he knew that he hit something, whether it was a person or something else. He knew, he had to have known that he hit somebody or something, and then he decides to drive forward again and run them over more. What is he thinking?
Near or under the tire. Police are trying to identify the driver who left the scene. The video shows others trying to help the woman in the street. A neighbor, Aiden Scheuer, gave us his reaction.
The driver, if you look in the video right now, actually gets out and checks on her. She's like a 29-year-old young lady. He gets out and looks at her. He knows that he's ran her over. He stopped the van. He goes back there, takes a look, and then watch.
To the incident.
And I'm just glad to hear they're okay, and hopefully they're making a speedy recovery.
Did you worry about walking through this area because of these two streets?
I mean, I worry walking all around the city sometimes just because people are always blowing through lights. I don't know if that's what happened in this situation, but, you know, even if it's last tick of a yellow, people are just going 40. I mean, when I got home today, I parked up the street. Someone seemed like they were almost going 40 miles per hour down one of these roads, so people are just moving quick all the time.
Now, in a statement to 11 News, Amazon tells us that the driver has been suspended. Police are still investigating what happened here. Reporting live from East Baltimore, Barry Sims, WBAL-TV, 11 News.
So the update is that the driver was located. Amazon suspended them. They've been fired. Also been arrested. It was a young late 20s gentleman that was driving and a late 20s young lady that he ran over. He's been charged with hit and run because he left the scene. He got back in the van and drove off. He did not stop. Thankfully, those Amazon vans have tracking and GPS. They know exactly where he was and what he was doing exactly at that time. So they can pull that security camera, say it was 8:05 p.m., show where his van was, and they know that he was the guy driving the van. So it wasn't too difficult to track him down. He may have panicked, and I'll give him the benefit of the doubt because I don't know the driver. But man, if you hit something, you hit somebody, it could have been an accident. She could have been in that intersection while he had the green light, which is almost what it looks like. He should have just hung around and not drove forward again. Thankfully, she's going to recover. She had some broken bones and some damage, but he's being charged with that hit and run, leaving the scene of an accident with great bodily harm. And I think there was a couple other traffic infractions he's being charged with. So he could potentially do some jail time. He'll probably, hopefully, not have a criminal history. And he'll maybe do some community service, some restitution, some medical bills. He'll have to pay for all of this, and maybe he'll do time, maybe he won't. But this is a great lesson. And man, be aware of your surroundings. Pay attention to what's going on. This is one of my biggest pet peeves in the entire world. People that do not pay attention. They're not aware of their surroundings. Not just when they're driving a car and they cause an accident or change lanes or merge into you. As simple as being in a grocery store and they park their shopping cart angled across the whole aisle, and then they turn around and they're getting their thing, and they're just sitting there going, Pay attention, you guys. Everything around you is something to pay attention to. Keep your head on the swivel. Be aware of what's going on around you. People, place, and time. Always, always, always watch what you're doing. It is something I pride myself in. I'm not perfect, but I'm always watching what other people are doing, where they are, who's in front of me, who's around me. I'm not just swinging my arms, pushing my cart, changing lanes in my car. Pay attention to what you are doing. I know. I slipped up and made a huge mistake last weekend and didn't pay attention to where my phone and wallet are, and that's why I'm so mad at myself. So those of you that are going to leave that comment, feel free to save it. I know I slipped up and I broke my rule number one of paying attention to your surroundings and watching what you're doing with your things. It's not going to happen again. Bank on it, you guys. Bank on that. But yeah, that's what I pride myself in. And up until last weekend, I feel like I've done a pretty good job of it. It just takes once. Anyways, hopefully you enjoyed the video. I appreciate you watching. Thanks so much, as always, for being here. If you could share this video out on social media, share some clips, and like it, and subscribe to the channel. Come back, watch more future videos. We'll be here with you, including Milo, my old English sheepdog. As always, he is part of the videos because he does not let me record without being a part of them. Thank you, everybody, and I'll see you next time.